it go? That's going now. That's streaming. That's streaming. Go live like this. Okay. So that's there. Well, the good side of this, I guess, is that I can eat today. So that's cool. Oh, where did I put that? Okay. Are these on? Yes. Let's do. Oh, we need that too. Where is this?
Of the philosophy of the Tao, the principle of relativity. And I explained that this was the one absolutely important thing you had to understand in order to get the whole point of what this is about. And all this relativity theory is an explication of the Tao, the Tao, or the way or course of nature. This idea of Tao, the flow of life, is really very, very basic to Chinese thinking. And it's becoming very basic to our thinking too. Because we
should back
are
that
more
up.
and more aware of the fact that the universe is an energy system. That is to say, it is not an amalgamation of block entities called things. It is not based, as the Newtonian universe was based, on the analogy of billiards. You see, the original idea of an atom is something which is atomos, which means undividable, uncuttable. And so you had to feel that if there was material in the world, if there was matter, although you can chop a cake, and then you can divide it again, and divide it again, and divide it again, and you know how children divide up the last piece, then you finally are eventually going to get down to an absolutely uncuttable crumb. But with very fine instruments, you can still cut that, but we can go down and down until there will be something so fundamentally hard and so tiny that there will be no way of cutting it at all, and that's the original atom. And Newton devised this idea, Descartes' theory of the universe, which was these little billiard balls were banging each other around, and everything could be explained by cosmic billiards. Until
Cosmic billiards.
20th century physics. And shows that these atoms are not uncuttable at all, but that they are made in an extraordinary way. In fact, perhaps made is quite the wrong word to use for them. When Sir Arthur Eddington, many years ago, discussed the nature of electrons in his book, The Nature of the Physical World, he said the time has passed when we even ask the question what an electron is. Something unknown is doing we don't know what. That is what our theory amounts to. It is reminiscent of something we have heard before. 'Twas brilliant in the slithing toes, the gyre and gimble in the way.
What was I just gonna do?
So, in other words, the transformation which took place in Western thought was this.
That's crazy.
That the operation of nature is not produced by the operation of force and energy upon itself. That was thinking about the universe by an analogy with ceramics. And you don't need to think about it that way. Although the ancient Hebrews did, and gave us the idea of God creating Adam by making a clay figurine and then blowing the breath of life into his nostrils. And so ever afterwards it has become, Aristotle compounded this with his form and matter. And then it's become common sense for almost every European-speaking people to think that the world is fundamentally shaped stuff. And stuff by itself is obviously stupid, like clay, and therefore it needs to be informed by spirit or energy. But today we don't think about this in this way at all. We think of the universe as a system of energy. And the energy flows in such a way as in a rock to act hard, and in water to act liquid, and in air to act pretty soft and gassy, and so all the way around. Everything is pattern of energy. And I don't want you to think of the words pattern of energy as if the pattern were one thing and the energy another. As if a pattern were a thing made of something called energy. Energy and pattern are the same thing, because you will never find energy not in a pattern, or a pattern that is not energy. And if these things are inextricably associated, you can be sure there's some sort of conspiracy underneath the whole thing, and that they're really one. So then, the course of the world is a constant flow. I used the analogy last night of each person being like a whirlpool in a stream. Now you see the form of a whirlpool, as you watch it, remains fairly constant. But the water, it never stays in it, you see. So in exactly the same way, all things and all people, all plants and whatsoever there is a form of constant change. It's changing perpetually, but it's changing in a certain dance. And the form of the dance remains constant until you get bored with it or it falls apart. Now, we are sort of hypnotized by our social institutions and conventions into thinking that any given form of energy is by itself. And that, for example, that I am a tremendously important person who has to be looked after and watched and protected from dying and all that sort of thing, or going broke, and so I have to protect this thing as if somehow or other, if I fail in protecting this particular display of energy, all is lost. You see, or it isn't. But we're taught to think that way.
I got a little chippy in there.
And you can be untaught. In other words, your mind can be wiped clean, and you can experience yourself as a whirlpool of energy in a stream which is the Tao, which is the total course of nature, the energy field of the whole cosmos. And so the objective, if you might call it that, of the Taoist way of life, the Taoist discipline, is to enable people to feel that way. But to become transparent to yourself. To feel, in other words, that you are just like anything else around you. If something through which light is flowing, and you're sort of transparent, and you don't constitute a block in it. Like, you know, you swallow something that's stuck in your throat, well, that constitutes a block in the alimentary tract. Or if you take a worm and bruise it, the worm wiggles both sides of the bruise, but it can't make a wave wiggle through the whole length of the worm. And there was a very strange man called Wilhelm Reich who said that most people have a thing like the worm's bruise across their diaphragm, so that they find difficulty in wiggling all the way through. So in exactly this way, Taoism teaches you to wiggle all the way through, not only from foot to head, but from one end of space to the other. And you are a wiggle in the middle of that, but let it happen, you see. And so this then, to learn how to be with the wiggle, is to be in the Tao. But you do have here, you see, the idea of an intelligence that is rhythmic.
Oops.
That goes on and stops, that pulses. And intelligent, yes, but this is in a curious way quite different from our idea of God. And it's very important to understand at the beginning the difference between the Tao and God. The idea of God in the West has a history which is originally political. That is to say, the title with which the Lord is addressed very often is King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Now the King of Kings, or the doin, is a Persian term which was applied to the Persian emperors. The word Cyrus is not a personal name. It means the Lord. It's the same as the Greek Kyrios. So the idea of the great Persian emperors, or before them the Chaldean emperors and the Egyptian pharaohs, these tremendous potentates, was the original model of the Hebrew idea of Yahweh. He is the ruler in heaven, and so all creatures below him obey his orders. For one of the great things that all these Near Eastern emperors did was to issue laws.
Oops.
And so the laws of the Medes and Persians, you know the thing about them, why they're always referred to as sort of fundamental laws, they could never be repealed. And so you've got the Code of Hammurabi, and you have the Law of Moses, which is based on the Code of Hammurabi. So here is the model of the whole Hebrew Christian notion of God, is the one who lays down the laws of nature, who gives you the Word. The Word is the law, the commandment. By the word of the Lord were the heavens made, and all the hosts of them by the breath of his mouth. Now the Chinese simply do not have that conception of the universe. In their
Trying to get this to
they do
actually,
have a word for
so you can
law
see what I'm doing.
as we use it, that is to say positive law, rules. And this word is Zhe. And in the original form of this word, it looks like this. And that is supposed to be a sacrificial cauldron with a knife beside it.
Oh, I feel bad I don't have the puppy anymore.
Because in very ancient times, there was a certain
Well, I gave her back to the lady.
who did write down laws for the people. And what he did was he had to
I feel like I'm less interesting without the puppy. I'm like, I need the puppy for...
sacrifices, so that when they brought the sacrifice, they would read the laws. But his sages said this was a very bad idea. Because once you write the law down, people will develop a litigious spirit. They will say, but it doesn't say this. It isn't specific about that. And so come lawyers and all the complications that follow. A good judge is a reasonable man. And he has this absolutely necessary quality, which is called approximately ren in Chinese. And that means human-heartedness. It means being a reasonable human being. After all, come off it, damn you. You can be reasonable. And so it's a spirit of compromise, of balancing things out, and of generally muddling through. So, the model of the political ruler who gives orders is not suitable for the idea of Tao. In one chapter of the Tao Te Ching,
Christine, you almost off work?
The great Tao
Still, I'm not
flows
still
everywhere, both to the left and to the
No,
right.
the lady's really nice.
It loves and nourishes
I think
all things,
I think it'll be really...
but
I'll get to... Because I don't need the responsibility all the time.
Consequences arise, or when merits are accomplished, it lays no claim to them. Now you see, the Western God, in the popular literature at any rate, is always laying claim to things. People bow down before the Lord and say, any good that I have done is of you, and all the evil I've done is of me. And you, God, ought to be thanked for everything. You have given us this, you've given us that, you've given us the other. and so on. And so you feel
That's funny,
that
though.
the Lord is sitting up there and receiving all these compliments, just like the Oriental potentate. They receive them very graciously. But nevertheless, these compliments are in order. Now, for the Taoist philosophy, you have to get used to the idea of thinking of nature as a system which has no boss. That's absolutely fundamental. And that's why the word for nature, you see, is zhiran, or what is so of itself. It's almost automatic, except that the word automatic in English has a mechanical feel. But in the same way as your heart beats without your having to govern it, it does it of itself. So the Taoist view of the universe is that everything happens by itself. And yet just because everything happens of itself and you leave it alone and don't try to push it around, it's orderly. Now this is a very democratic theory. I can't understand for the life of me how people can be members of a republic like the United States and think that this is the best form of government and yet hold to a monarchical theory of the universe. If the universe is a monarchy, then that's obviously the best form of government. And you ought to have a monarchy here. But you don't. And because you consider that you had bad experience in past times under the British and other kinds of rulers, and to hell with all that. You're going to be self-governing. Well, to be self-governing, you have to have a measure of anarchy. In other words, you have to trust other people.
Oh.
And this is the country, because it consists of people who originally lived under monarchies, finds it very difficult to trust other people. This is the most paranoid country on earth. And it's always saying there ought to be a law against it. Stop people doing this, stop them doing that.
I can't remember.
So imagine Shark Tank.
Oh
right?
no!
But
Well, now we have an
cameras,
ad.
And you get your master's degree
Because I don't pay
simply
for
by
YouTube.
launching your own business. That's
But you know,
I can't remember. I listened to your videos. I can't remember the first thing of what you said. I need it spelled out, but I need to listen again. But it's lafel. Is if you were eating. When are you going to be off work? Are you going to eat soon? I hope so. It's getting late.
they may run amok. But you've
And
got
thank
to
you.
take the risk if you want to live in a democracy of your neighbor running amok, because democracy is simply based on trusting your neighbor, even though he may be a crook. Otherwise, you have to have a police state and you're back to a monarchy.
Yeah, I listened to the videos and you said it's something lafel. Or just simply lafel. That's what I'm saying back to you. You say pofta bona. That's what it is. Back. Pofta bona sati. Screenshotting this so I can remember it. I need it spelled out. Maybe you can say it for me in an audio message too. For later. Pofta bona sati. And lafel. Or lafel. Oh, there's two different ones you can say. Hi, Miriam. What food did you get? Okay, so Christine, so there's two. Okay, so now I know there's two. This is when I start getting confused. When there's multiple options. I guess there's always multiple options. I want you to teach me the phrase, I have one life and one hole in my ass. Or one life and one asshole. At some point. I know, but Christine, when are you off work? How much longer are you working? I need to make a reel today, I think. I don't want to, but I guess it's important. Oh wow, to make bread. That sounds good. I think I'm finally done. Well, done enough. Working on this cast iron pot, cleaning it out. Oh good, you're almost done. But I've just been using steel wool to clean out this cast iron pot. It's taken forever. I think I'm finally done though, where it's like it's good enough. So I'm gonna like season it probably today or the next day, and then my eggs should start getting better and better and better. Looking, they still taste pretty good. Oh, 10:30, 11. Okay. Right. We have the littlest bit of crossover. Here to Europe is always the weirdest time zone difference. Because, like, sometimes I would talk to people in Australia, and it's so far along. It's kind of like it's the next day, but it's kind of close to the same time. To Europe, it's just like you're in the opposite mode of your day, where y'all are winding down and I'm gearing up. And then when I'm winding down, y'all are gearing up. I have some family that lives over there. Actually, even when I was doing phone calls with beta testers, checking in, I'd have to write down the time zone differences. Because when I'd call to get people's feedback, I'd have to make sure I called it a time that's good for them. Oops. Yeah, so I need to get a real, I don't know. Sometimes I get tired of doing this shit every day. I guess that's the way it is.
Whether the individual in charge is one person or a committee, makes no difference. That's what you get back to, if you won't trust your fellow man. So then, in the Taoist theory of the universe, everything is let go. It's as if God, you see, had said, now, I'm producing everything, but I'm going to disappear. And be invisible and just not there. And let everything happen according to its nature. And yet, the thing is, you see, the more you let go, the more things begin to work. This is one of those interesting paradoxes of which Taoism is full. So, you see, when you consider, for example, the human organism as a totality, you remember we were discussing last night whether the brain was made for the stomach or the stomach was made for the brain. In other words, who's in charge around here? Well, the truth of the matter is, nobody's in charge.
Excuse me.
You see, the brain and the stomach are not really different. They have the same relationship to each other as bees and flowers. Now, you realize there wouldn't be any flowers unless there were bees. There wouldn't be any bees unless there were flowers. Nothing could look more different than a bee and a flower. And yet they're a single organism. Nothing could look more different than head and feet, and yet it's a single organism. It happens to be tied in a certain way down here, and you can see very simply that it's one. But now bees and flowers are tied by things that are not quite so visible to us. They're very visible to the bee. But there are all sorts of subtle currents in the air, along which drift the smells of flowers. And these connect flowers with bees, just as effectively as our spinal column connects our head with our hips. So the bee and the flower is a single organ. One part of it doesn't exist without the other part. And so you can't say which came the first, bee or flower. It's like which came the first, egg or hen. They, as in the Chinese way of saying it, they arise mutually. And this phrase in Chinese means mutual or reciprocal. And this means to arise, to grow, to produce, or to be born. It's originally an image of a growing plant of some kind. So the world is seen as a system in which all the opposites and all...
Did you guys see the idea yet, or see the concept that basically that it's impossible, basically the night sky, there should not be black spots in the night sky if there are that many stars. If there are that many billions of stars and galaxies, literally at any point we look at, there should be starlight coming from somewhere in our galaxy or another one. So the whole sky should be white light. And so it doesn't make any sense that there's not that, because there are stars at all of those points. So what they figured out is that the only reason the whole sky isn't full of white light is because the starlight hasn't gotten here yet. It takes billions of years for all of it to get here. And so it's on its way. And so eventually the whole night sky will be all white. Eventually. When all the rest of the starlight catches up. Apparently. I don't really know what to do with that information. It was kind of hard for me to process and take in, but it's pretty wild. I'm assuming humanity won't be around by that point, or, well, frankly, it hurts my brain in both directions, thinking past. So it's like, okay, so there was a finite starting point. If we haven't gotten there yet, to now. And then also, what happens to what will happen to us when all of the light gets there, gets to us. It's pretty wild to think about. All right, one thing I want to do is season this pan. Am I afraid of the dark? A little bit sometimes. It depends. It's not. I'm afraid of the things that could be in the dark. One day we'll all be black. I mean, I think I'll be dead by then. I don't know. It's just wild to think about what things were and what they will be. And I guess it's all kind of irrelevant. Right, the universe. Well, they even talked about, like, if it gets to black, maybe it will start to be the thing where it spreads out so far that then it implodes back in on itself again and starts again, maybe? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna take you with me because I want to see what computer says about, I guess I could have looked on the phone, but I didn't want to do it that way. We want to see what is the best way to season this cast iron. Because maybe I've done it before, I can't really remember, but I definitely can't remember how to do it. It's definitely been 20 years if I have. Rust removal. Bake it. Okay, how long and how hot do I bake this grapeseed oil? I have a bit of a headache today, which is a bummer. Upside down on the middle oven rack, 1 hour, damn, 475 degrees. If I've only cleaned the bottom of the skillet and not all the outsides and the side, is it possible just to season just the cooking surface and not all the rest of it? Because I still want to clean off maybe the handle and the outside and the bottom. The outside bottom, I mean. Is that all right, or should I just, I don't know. $15, 20 minutes. Yeah, they're like saying it'll take 15, 20 minutes to clean the handle and outside walls and bottom, but I've even sent, ChatGPT has some questionable guidance sometimes, is all I'm saying. They're like, oh no, that pan looks good. And like the last photo I sent of the pan, it did not look good. Like it looks good now. Christine, that comment is, well, made me laugh. Have y'all listened to that song, Back to Black? Amy Winehouse. It's kind of sad. It's a very sad song, honestly. It kind of chokes me up hearing it. But it's a good one. We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times. I kind of don't want to do this thing because it's going to heat up the whole damn house, but start. But I guess that's what we have to do. We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back. Put mineral-rich, lead-free sea salt in your water for hydration. 1 teaspoon per liter, working your way back up to 1 per 50 pounds. What is that, Christiana Cole? What does that do? I'm screenshotting this so I can save it. What is that? What's the benefit of that? Okay, I need to, they said to heat this up again, it said. And then it said, what did this thing say to do? I learned so much stuff. I'm gonna look at this to see how much oil. Nope, we're not doing that. Hydrate and health organ therapy. Okay. Okay, interesting. Is there a type of sea salt that you like? What do you buy yourself? Okay, spend another 15 minutes. Three coats for an hour? That's crazy. How do I apply the thin coat of oil, of the grapeseed oil, to the pan? A Florida cell. Let me write this down. One teaspoon is enough for okay. Let me write this down. Sounds French. Baja Gold, but I've recently discovered. Okay. Cool, I'll check it out. Okay, we're gonna get this going. See if we can season this before we get into other things. Oh, I still haven't eaten my yogurt yet either. It takes so much time to be a person and eat food. It's like, how do we get anything done? I guess it keeps me out of trouble. Just eating. Eating and cleaning from eating.
Relationships as you get with bees and flowers, in groups and out groups.
Oops.
Heads and tails of cats, eggs and birds, arise mutually. That simply means that they are aspects of one and the same pattern.
Okay.
And it comes into being together.
1 teaspoon.
Now, it may sound odd to say that you, as an individual, arise mutually with the rest of the universe. But you do. And it's very important to realize this, because this is the key to understanding your own individuality. Let me first of all make it plain from a purely physiological point of view. The world that you see outside you is a state of your own nervous system. In other words, it is because you have senses and a nervous organization of a certain particular structure that the sky is blue, that the sun is light, and that vibrations in the air are sound. You turn them into color, light, sound, etc. Because supposing I hit on a drum which has no skin, there is no noise. So the air vibrates and pulses, but doesn't encounter an eardrum, there is no sound. That's the answer to the old problem of a tree falling in the forest, whether it makes a noise if nobody's around to hear. The answer is it doesn't, but it makes vibrations in the air. If there was something to measure them. A Zen poem says, "The tree shows the bodily power of the wind." See, if the wind blows across nothing, nobody knows it's blowing. But if there's some sand lying around and the sand gets up and drifts, then you see the wind. In the same way, the sun can shine and shine and shine. But if there are no planets to reflect the light, space will be full of darkness. It takes two. It takes you, as an individual sensitive organism, with the particular structure of nerves that you have, to evoke what we call nature and the external world. So you say, what is it outside that we evoke in this way? Well, the physicists will say, oh, it is a system of electricity, of quanta, and so on. But that's only what they see through using their instruments. In other words, what's outside in relation to certain instruments that a physicist has may be described in terms of electrical vibrations or quanta. And these, if you analyze any scientific language, electricity, it comes down to some completely superstitious Greek expression. Some mysterious force, that's all it means. And it's like doctors will say, the person has no life, which simply means that his nerves hurt. No, you go, watch out for these scientists. So, they don't know what it is. They can measure it, yes, they can number it, and by measuring and numbering its behavior patterns, they can predict what it will do next, to a certain extent. But the point is that you...
1 hour. I need to call this guy back. All right. I had a work call I had to take real quick. I wasn't sure if it was... I'm still not sure. It's a new client, so I wasn't sure if it's of a sensitive nature or not, so that's why I had to mute for that one. Okay, the pan seasoning, which is good. Take the rest of that later. Oh, okay. let's do the yogurt first, and then I'll clean up the rest of this. Let's put Alan Watts back on, because he's my friend, even though he doesn't know me.
But at the same moment, you are something in the external world. See, each one of you is in my external world, and I'm in your external world. So we are simultaneously in the external world, and yet we are evoking the external world and turning it into color and shape and hardness and softness and all these things.
I forgot to get more bananas.
That we recognize. So the existence
Oh,
of
nice.
the external world, as anything that can be thought about, imagined, or whatever, is created by the structure of your organism. And in turn, the structure of your organism is a function of the external world. See? So there is a reciprocal relationship, or what we might call a transaction, between you as an organism and the universe. So that we could say, if the universe were not here, you would not be here. Here, the universe would not be here. It is rather more difficult to understand. Because you say, presumably I was born at a certain time, and I will die at a certain time. And before I was born, the universe was there, and after I am dead, the universe will still be there for others. How then can you say that the whole universe depends on me? Well, that's very simple indeed. It depends on you, not as something that lasts all the time, but it depends on you having been there some of the time. In other words, eternity is related to the temporal. We contrast the eternal and the temporal as a set of opposites. And you will see that we couldn't have eternity without
Nice.
temporality, and we can't have temporality without eternity. The fact, you see, that Socrates existed tells us a great deal about the world. If the world is capable of Socratesing, it makes it much more interesting. You see, the world once Buddha, Jesus, and it shows us the potentialities within the world that these beings did exist. And so, insofar as any manifestation of nature is symptomatic of nature, it shows us that the whole is expressed here in a, I won't say a part, because I don't regard individuals as parts of nature, like you cut up a pie and have parts of it. Individuals are all expressions of nature. But going back, the whole universe depends on the temporal existence of every single one of its expressions. And this in Buddhist philosophy is called, in Japanese, Gigi-Muge. That is to say, the mutual interpenetration of all things and events. Imagine a spider's web and the dew of dawn upon it. And you look at this web and you see in every little drop of dew the reflection of all the other drops of dew. And if you look closer still, in every other drop of dew reflected, in the first drop of dew, you will see again the reflections of all the other drops of dew, and so ad infinitum. And this is the great Mahayana Buddhist diagram or model of the universe. Each one contains everything. You may be under the influence of a certain kind of 19th century nonsense, which said man is after all only a tiny little microbe on a rather on an extremely unimportant planet, revolving around a minor star on the fringes of one of the smaller galaxies. No? What a put down. But how exciting that this being, in just that unimportant sort of position, discovers that he can evoke the whole thing with his amazing body. And furthermore, since Einstein started scratching his head, it's quite legitimate to regard any place in the universe as the center of it. So if you take the surface of a sphere, supposing that space is curved, perhaps an ordinary sphere isn't the best model. We have to have a thing called a pseudosphere to get a good model, but never mind. If you take a sphere, where is the center? Now, other than the point at the inside, where is the center of the surface of the sphere? Well, it's anywhere you choose. All you have to do is put your finger on it and then move that position so that it lines up with your vision. Take, for example, a mirror ball and look at it. You will always find that whatever you may do and however you rotate it, the center of the sphere, the mirror sphere, is right here, wherever you look at it.
Sometimes. I'm interested in the universe in that it makes my brain not overwhelming. If the universe overwhelms me, then my brain doesn't. Like, there's something good about the perspective of knowing if I'm just a speck on the outside of a little speck of a galaxy, like, we're not even the center of our galaxy, we're on the fringes of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way is not a big galaxy. In billions upon billions of galaxies, it's like, all right, I can relax a little bit. I don't know. And it gets so big. There's something that's nice about it too. It's almost like doing acid to me, where it's like, if it gets big enough, once things get big enough, I like the idea of something getting so big that I can't comprehend it. Like, my brain just spins out and it's like, okay, well, now that just doesn't make any sense to me at all. And there's something kind of relaxing about something being so far beyond my comprehension that I just stop trying. Wow, I look tired when I see my eyes closed. I'm getting older. Or maybe I need to sleep more. I need a hair tie is what I need. I'm hot. Oh yeah, the oven's gonna be blasting at 475. No wonder it's gonna, of course it'll get hot in here. I think I'm gonna look into, this is a whole other aside, and this is gonna sound silly, and I just interrupted Alan Watts, I realized, so if y'all were interested in that, sorry. We can put it back on in a second. I think I'm going to look into going to the orthodontist and getting this tooth straightened. You can't, well, I'm sure you noticed, it's kind of snaggle tooth, this guy. Hopefully I don't have food in my teeth. But like getting that fixed, basically just getting a couple things I don't want to say fixed, but like put in place or whatever, because it's like, it's within the scope of what I can do as a human. I don't want to be vain about it, but it's one of the things I can do as a human. And also what I'm noticing, some people say it doesn't matter, but like, I notice the better I look, the videos get better. Our brain is not made for this. Yeah, that's true. Christine, you're done. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well done. It's just numbers. Well, that's the thing, is accept it, but like, yeah, even, right, it's just accepting. It's when something's so far outside of comprehension, then it is just like, okay, this is just what it is. I have to accept it. Yeah. No, but I'm thinking I may try and like do some things to improve my appearance a little bit, because I think it will help. Well, one, my confidence, but also I think it will help videos connect better, because we even babies are attracted to beautiful things. And so, in terms of the scope of like things that I can control, like things that I can do my best at, it's like working out, exercising, but also like maybe even going to like one of those like face places where they do like beauty treatments where it's like lasering off skin. It's like doing whatever I can to make myself as attractive as possible. If I am going to be making videos and needing people to stay for 3 seconds or 6 seconds, it's like making myself, I probably need to get some better clothes. I don't need to, but that would be like that's something I can do that can help me communicate a better message more effectively. It's weird though trying to separate that from being like vain and shallow and like feeling insecure, because obviously like everyone wants to be, at least I want to be beautiful, you know, and have insecurities about it, but also realizing it serves a practical purpose. Like people will watch longer, people are more likely to click the more attractive you make yourself. Anyway, that's a whole aside, but it's just something I've been thinking about recently.
You will be in the middle. See? So, any point in the universe can be regarded truly as the center. So, there's no reason why we shouldn't go back in an entirely new way to a kind of Ptolemaic theory of the universe, but a sophisticated Ptolemaic theory based on the 20th century, where we're still in the center, because we know now that space is curved. And so we can also go back. See, in the 19th century, they got a legend going. You know what the pathetic fallacy is. The pathetic fallacy is the projection of human feelings, intelligence, and emotions upon non-human objects. The sea is sighing. The wind in the pine trees sounds sad. The sun is happy today. All that sort of thing is called the pathetic fallacy. But it's not so wrong after all. See, what they wanted to prove in the 19th century was that intelligence resides only inside human skins, and that everything else outside is blind force, brute energy, dumb matter, and generally stupid. They couldn't see at that point that a human being is symptomatic of his environment and expresses his environment. So if you're intelligent, you are in an intelligent environment. There's no other way to it. Well then, now we see differently. We realize that everything that we see is human. That is to say, all that is outside us whatsoever is known to us by being translated into the shape of our brains, and therefore is humanized. You may think it anthropomorphic to conceive God as an old gentleman with a white beard sitting on a golden throne. But it is just as anthropomorphic to consider the nature of the universe in the formula E = mc squared, because that too is a human, rational conception. And it's completely human. It's anthropomorphic, in other words, it is of the form of man. So everywhere you see a human universe in relation to which you exist, and it exists in relation to you. And it's as big can be, and you're as small can be. And it's as long and goes on forever and ever, and you go on for a limited time only. But you see, just as difference exemplifies unity, so brevity emphasizes and brings out length, and time brings out, therefore, eternity. Just in the same way as a figure brings out a background, and a background is necessary for bringing out a figure. So then, the Tao process is not one of government. The relationship between you
I'll bet.
as
I can only
the little
imagine.
fellow
You must be starving.
and the universe as the enormous thing is not one of blah, 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 blah. Something like that, you see. isn't that political model?
I love his laugh.
It is mutuality.
You have to be starving.
Well,
I can't even imagine.
There is an accord to move together like dancers who are wonderfully partnered so that you don't know which one is leading and which one is following. They just read each other's minds.
Okay, I'll add you to the WhatsApp.
And that's how you act in concord with your environment. You arise together. Not necessarily in time. It may start long before you arrive, just as the tree is growing to produce fruit. But fruit is implied in the tree. So people are implied in the cosmos.
Yeah, I'll get you both in. Sorry to be showing you my dishes. That's what I need to do
And
next.
so, as it were, you're there from the
This is
beginning
so-
by implication.
Sorry.
Just as the apple.
Yeah, I'll get you both added today. Man, I'll make a mess.
Now, when you find a relationship like that, you see, where the two aspects of it, the great and the small, the vast and long, and the
So
little and
gross.
short, and you don't find one without the other, then you know this is not a separation, but a union, where what we call the long is one end of the same energy pattern of which short is the other end. Imagine a triangle.
I
It
guess.
has a
I guess so.
base and a tiny point.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Nature of a triangle.
Y'all definitely see my mess
Imagine
a lot.
The ocean. It keeps waving. And the waves come, the waves go. The ocean keeps on waving. Well, we are similarly like that. No ocean without waves, you know. It's a dynamic system, it's moving. And so we are the universe waving. Each one of us is waving in a particular way. So what you do, if you want to find that out, is you have to, what shall I say, deepen your consciousness. You have to go down to its roots and discover the point where it ceases to be purely you. Where it ceases to be simply the system of memories and habits that you call your ego. And underneath that system, which is as it were the crest of the wave, going tickle, 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 right out on the top where all the spray goes, you see. Deep down underneath that is the huge force of the ocean, which is present in you at all times, operating at the basis of your consciousness, which is at the same time the basis of your physical energy, muscular power, and indeed existence at all. But at that level, you are supra-personal. That is to say, when you realize that you stand here as a body, because you had a father and mother. And they passed on to you those genes, those DNA and RNA tricks that produce you here as a physical entity. And of course your father and mother had parents.
Oh, that's nice.
And it goes way back. It's as if you see, there was, according to certain cosmological theories today, a primordial explosion which blew up and created the universe. And you know how it is when you take a bottle of ink and you throw it at a whitewashed wall, smash like that, and it goes splat all over the place. There's a big block in the center. And then as it goes out, it gets all sorts of little curlicues and wiggles. So you see, the cosmic explosion is still happening. It takes a long time from that big essential bang for the whole thing to go whoosh. It takes billions of years for it to happen.
Wow, that gets
And
hot.
it's still happening. And we're the little curlicues out on the edge.
Dang.
And we're connected. We are part of the central
These towels are so
explosion
hot. We're not gonna
that in a certain sense is
keep
in
those
you.
by the oven. Gosh.
You're still manifesting. You see? So When you consider yourself as a physical being, consider this hand. It is very ancient. Just like you pick up a stone. Say, how old is this stone? Well, scientists will say, well, it's about Hampton's, the Pleistocene age, and it's probably, 4 million years old. But then you think, well, wait a minute. What do you mean 4 million years old? Where did it come from? What was it before it was a stone? Well,
Nice.
And that goes back, you see.
It's nice your commute is so short.
Yourself is incredibly ancient.
Okay, how do I do
It goes
this?
back to the very beginning of time.
Let's do it this way.
So if your mind awakens, you suddenly see all your friends sitting around you looking incredibly ancient. I don't mean in the sense of old and haggard, but like angels, like eternal beings, who were always there from the beginning. All right, let's take an intermission.
Now, if you're a local business owner, listen up because I'm going to show you how
If you're a local business owner, listen up, because we got an advertisement for you.
3 minutes on this video. My name's Colton Bollinger, and I've helped over 2,000.
Yeah, Poftobona. Do I say Poftobona to you? Can you say it that way?
It is believed generally in India that when a person sets out on the way of liberation,
All right.
his first problem is to become free from his past karma.
I need to turn this off for a
The
second.
popular theory of karma.
That was enough. Okay, what messaging? Is there a minor? Okay, someone's asking if you can set reminders to close today. Yes. Okay, how is the best way to explain this of how to set reminders? Okay, purple orb, the gears at the top, notifications. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Oops, how do I do this? What in the world? Okay. If you're on your recipe, tap the purple orb, then at the top of the screen, tap the gear icon. Will have all your settings. All the general app settings. I really wish there was like a user. All I think about is all the people I need to hire that know what they're doing to help make this better. And I like need a social media person, and I need a user interface person that knows how to like make apps better. That will have all the general app settings in it. notifications. And then close today, enable notifications, and set the time. Enable notifications and choose. I'm working on having the app show you how to do it when little ghost finger animation. I'm working on setting up things in the app. It only does one thing so far, but when people have questions and they click on in the frequently asked questions and they're like, how do I edit an ingredient, or how do I make a new one, or how do I set up push notifications, it will show a little ghost finger animation. And so instead of like just taking the person straight to the page, you're like, how I want to add an ingredient, it will show the animation where there's a ghost finger, and it'll go down and like tap on the search icon and whatever. Okay. Let me see if I have these. Okay, so let's go back to here. I can show y'all what I'm doing, I guess. Not that you asked. I still haven't set a direction for today. I'm kind of stressing out a little bit. All right, we're not eating good things anymore. I guess we can set a direction. Oh, I have a headache, which is a bummer. Okay, also while we're doing this, I can respond. Well, no, I don't need to show you my messages to other people. I guess that's rude. Okay, let's add y'all. How do I do this? I'm not gonna lie, this dance class thing, the idea of it is stressing me out, just knowing that it could be coming up. I just get overwhelmed, so, oh my God, oh. Miriam, I'm just looking at your messages now. You got Ishmael, that's exciting. And look at this puppy. Miriam, she's beautiful. Do you know, or Snoop, yes, she, okay. Okay, so another thing, do you mind if I show this on the screen? I'm just gonna do this because there's a reason I wanna do this. So this, hopefully this is okay. Oops, I get it. So that ball, that toy, this is how I think of, I mean, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. This squeaky toy ball though, that is how I think of the universe, or people, or God. I think that we're all one, like this big, squeaky, nubby chew toy, including Snoopy, including Baby or Chloe, including the trees, like this plant here, including all of it. And we're all little nubbies in all the different directions. Snoopy always takes care of you. Oh, that's beautiful. She's gorgeous. What a sweetheart. Okay, well, I love that. Thank you for sending. Copy. I was getting this to get the phone numbers to add to the thing, and then I get sidetracked. Thank you for sending. How do I add? Add members. Miriam, are you on? I appreciate it. I mean, animals and like animals, I will always be down all the time. Are you on WhatsApp already? Let me see if I can add you. I'm not very familiar with WhatsApp. Add new contact. What if I just put it in here? This phone number is, okay. Oh, I think this will work. Okay, and then we need to get Christine. Add to contacts. Oh no. Well, I mean, that's fine too. I'm not gonna lie, I'm stressing out about this. Okay, great. I'll introduce you both to the group in a second too. I'm just trying to get Christine's also put in here. So if I go here, new contact. I think this is right. I don't know exactly how. Yeah, I just don't know how. Romania. Okay. Okay. It's a little bit quieter on the group because I haven't sent out. When I started doing, well, I haven't done this is originally all the beta testers. And so when I started doing a lot more posting online, it was hard to keep up with, well, I wasn't doing more just smaller beta tester groups. Although I am thinking about doing that again. We'll see. I guess it's time to set a direction. I'm like, how long till this oven is done? It is so hot in here. 15 minutes still? Yeesh. All right, well, we can set a direction, I guess. All right. Oh yeah, so now also you can message users off of their completions. Christine, did you see that someone else added their stuff to the stream? We have 3 people on this stream now. It's not just you and me, which is fun. Yeah, I don't even know what I was gonna say. Oh Okay. Let's pop this up a little bit. Let's see. Phone. Is it gonna let this go? It did it again? Oh, I hear you. The question is it gonna work? An error occurred. This messed up. What is going on? I don't think this is streaming, so I need to, I guess, reset it, because it's not. No. Copy. Save. Maybe that works. I guess I should have tried to actually see. Is it gonna work if I do this again, or is it gonna? I'm having issues. I don't know if this is gonna work. If this is going. The app just died. Okay, now it might be working. Yeah, it's having issues. Streaming software. I like that I'm typing this in and I could just tell you my streaming software kept crashing when I tried to plug in my iPhone to screen share. It seems like maybe we're working now. Okay. I have a killer headache. Or it's not killer, but man, it's starting. Okay, let's see if I can get this done. I did cold shower. That's cool. I did a walk somewhere. We'll say around 10 a.m. That's probably fine. Oh, interesting. The sounds sound like they're working. Which they're not on my phone. Have your sounds been working on your phone? Do you have the sound effects? Mine haven't been working. I've just been busy fixing other things because, oh, I did my skincare, I washed my face, got sunshine. All right, set a direction. Today is Monday, August 2nd, 2026, and I am in Los Angeles. Earth, Sol, Milky Way. You know, Miriam, that's one of the things too, like with the universe, is I'm interested in it in terms of, no, that was mine. That was me. That was me. I'm interested in the universe in terms of I'm just interested in knowing what is. Like, all right, so what's going on? That's what I like. That's about how much I'm interested in it, is it's like, okay, so what is the deal? What's the deal? Okay, universe, etc. I am here as Justin and will cease receiving. Justin will die at some point, maybe even today. All I know for sure is that I have right now. Today is different. Why is today different? Honestly, I swear straight up, I just want to take a nap this afternoon, which is not great. This is not great. Three days to the goal deadline. Is there anything else that's different about today? I just like don't want to do my life right now. I guess if I can't think of anything more, that's what we got for today. I am grateful for another day to play the game. I am grateful for everything in my life exactly as it is right now. To be clear, I don't know what's going on. I got pretty close to 8 hours last night. Like, I think I got 7.5. That's which is like not bad. I am grateful for. I'm grateful I got my laundry done last night. Laundry done yesterday. That was getting out of hand. It was getting bad. I am grateful for. This is private. I am grateful for. Also private. Am great. I'm grateful that I'm done cleaning out that damn cast iron and can actually start breaking it in. I can't scroll. What's going on with this shit? I can't scroll down the screen. Nice job, Justin. Great app. There we go. I can do it this way. No, it doesn't show up in... Alright, so I need to fix this. I can't see the bottom... This shit is endless. Here, let me just send this now before... Spec implementation. I'll check this out in a second, but one thing I'm noticing right now is that if I'm in set a direction on the gratefulness list, so 3 things I'm grateful for, when I go down to the third prompt, if I keyboard focus into the third prompt of I'm grateful for, I guess because I've already typed in, the keyboard is over top entirely of the entire text prompt box, so I can't see anything. So we need to fix that. It's so nice to be able to tell a computer to do these things than me to have to figure out how to fix that myself. Okay, I don't know how to type that in, so we're gonna skip that for now because oh shit. Oh, the oven's done. Which I think for the oven, I can just turn it off, I think. I don't think I need to do anything beyond that. Okay. So let's see if it crashes again when I plug my phone back in. Ever since I've been sick, there's been like a pinched thing in my back. It's almost like a pinched nerve that goes down into my leg. It's like a nerve that goes over my right butt cheek down into my leg. And I've been trying to stretch, and I've been trying to like walk a lot, and it's just been lingering. And sometimes it hurts bad enough, like it's never like terrible, but it's like bad enough that I kind of just like want to cut my leg off. And like I said, I mean, I guess I could be stretching more. I could go to a yoga class or something. But I've been trying to stretch a little bit. I work out, I walk some. I mean, I guess I could do all those things better. It's been lingering. It is a bitch. It hurts. It's just uncomfortable. Okay, I need to, so the number one thing I need to do today is now this shit isn't working. What's happening? Yeah, it's just it's a bummer. Like, and there'll be lots of times where I just like can't get comfortable. Maybe I should go back to that blue ball chair. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay. I send over the legal paperwork for the door. I start this. So that's the most important thing. I need to get that done. I make a good value reel and post it. This is when I get tired of just looking at the things I'm supposed to like get done, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do all that. Good talk. I can at least do these. That's something I'm able to do. Okay. 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 I don't feel like doing the spiel today, so I'm just gonna do this so I can get this out of the way. I am a top specimen of a human. It's not registering it. Is this how today's gonna be? Oh wait, that speaker might be. Hey Matei. How's it going, man? It's good to see you, bud. Alright. Let's see if this will work now. How was your evening? I am a top specimen of a human. I achieve anything I want, make a plan and deadline for, identify what I will give in exchange, and work steadily towards. I love life. I work confidently and trust my instincts. I am on a mission. I am good looking. I am a good person and deserve good things. I make life more wonderful for myself and for others around me. I am a divine expression of life. I love and accept myself exactly where and as I am right now. I am abundant, supported, and fully provided for. I do not shrink to avoid discomfort for others or for myself. Oh, nice. What up, H-Ducks? It's good to see you. I do what scares me. I do difficult and scary things. I am honest. I am successful. I am a kind and loving human and husband. I do not get hung up on perfection. Instead, I do, and learn from my experience. I am fearless. I am unstoppable. I am infinite. I am a great dancer. I love without expectation. I approach all new things through a lens of love instead of fear. I feel my feelings fully. I make it play. I remember that it's all playtime. I ask for help. I treat my past, future, and now as valuable. I am present. I feel confident, comfortable, and assured because I am the divine and the divine flows through me. I hold 300 Bitcoin and I know the value I helped create and what it cost. I create and share things of value with as many others as possible. My feelings are my responsibility. When I have to have something, then I will. Let it begin with me. The cavalry is me. Be kind to Justin. Don't abandon Justin. Be true. Be open. Be shameless. Be what you want. Don't take yourself too damn seriously. I am, and no one else is, responsible for Justin, for his financial, emotional, mental, physical, professional, and spiritual health and growth. I build you, Good Day Recipe, into an app that has more than 1 billion users. I laugh when darkness comes. My most important work is now. The world is what I think it is. Today is going to be a good day. It's really annoying that this... Oh, if I tap out of it, I guess it works. I kind of messed up that prompt a little bit. You hate for that. Hang on a second, let me talk to Matei first. Yeah, you're on it. You're on the live stream. I'm definitely not pulling you on, especially with some of the people we have here. Well, let me make sure you're still here, Matei. Okay, you're still on. Cool. Okay, so you helped your grandma cook. Very cool. What did y'all cook? I'm very curious. I am so much a billionaire, and you know, where's... All right, I don't know what you're on about today, H-Ducks, but it's good to see you. And also be careful driving. I don't know if you should be driving and messaging, but I'm not one to tell other people what to do most of the time. Matei, what I can't remember if I asked you, Matei, what did you cook with your grandma? Oh, Miriam, that's sweet of you to say. Thank you. Thanks for saying that. Sorry, Christine. He ain't asleep. Apparently nothing you can do about it. That's funny. That is funny. All right, so I need to fill out these legal forms, I guess, which is not fun, but apparently I wrote down that's the most important thing to do, and I guess I won't have a tour if I don't do it. Okay, setting a direction is done. Let's see if they figured out how to fix this. So there's room to scroll. What's missing is anything. We made borscht. Okay. Today we made vegetable soup. I helped peel the onions and cut some of the vegetables. All right, dude. Good for you. You're probably way better at it than I am. Very cool. Very, very cool. I just made my usual. I made eggs again today. My day's been, I think you asked me and I forgot to respond. My day was, well, my day's okay. I'm kind of, I don't know what I'm doing today. I'm figuring it out. Right now I'm trying to figure out what to do with this. The text doesn't line up properly. What am I doing here? The text doesn't line up properly. With this, so I'm trying to figure out if we can get this working. The text, that wasn't even English. The text, you can't see typing in the app when keyboard focus is on, so I'm gonna try and fix it. H-Ducks, where are you driving to? All right, so this keyboard focus was definitely working the other day, but then I had made a change where I was asking for it to like expand out the text prompt windows so we could have scrollable text, and I think maybe we forgot to have the scrolling into focused field, the on focus thing happening so it keeps it visible. I don't know. I just want you to be aware of that so that we're fixing the right thing. And then let's go to Lovable. Let's see what's happening. Okay, I'm not totally sure what that means, but fixed keyboard covering field. Did he just do that? Yeah, today at 1:44. Okay, it supposedly is done. Okay. Let's see if we can get this working here. I'm gonna tell you, what are you getting into tomorrow? What are you gonna do tomorrow? All right, so let's pull. Actually, no, y'all can watch what I'm doing. This is more interesting than watching the front of me. Maybe, I don't know what's more interesting. I don't really know how to do this. What we do want to do is go here. 2 p.m., okay. And then we want to go documents. We're going to open new terminal. Okay, we're going to sync this. I think school here starts in like August. Okay, and then slash build, oh no, it's this, period slash build iOS sh. Excellent. Pool day. That sounds fantastic. I am, I guess, gonna work more on this app. It doesn't sound very interesting, I know. It doesn't sound that interesting to me either. I'm kind of tired of it. But it needs to be done. It says no one except me. iPhone 13. Okay, so let's see if we can load this in here. So let's see. This, we're gonna build this here. Yeah, I think it's only like, I guess they go to summer vacation in June, I think. It's like June, July. I think it's like maybe half of August. I'm not really sure. And sometimes they go until like middle of June, I think. I'm not sure. 6 weeks? That's short. Okay, so I'm gonna make this new. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if this actually loads. We have 12 people on today. That's kind of cool. I honestly might take a nap today. I don't know. My head is like not loving life right now. Okay, so we're installing the new version. We'll see if this opens. And then what we're going to check is to see as if I can see my text prompt when I go into set a direction. So we're going to uncomplete this. So if we go to 3 things I'm grateful for, if I tap here, no, it still doesn't work. Bitch. All right, so let's send this to here. Okay, this screenshot we need to go to, give this to Claude. Okay, I just git synced and ran the new build from Xcode on my phone and it's still covered up. Check out the screenshot. Because it used to work until I made this text prompt box change. All right. Good night, Matei. Have a good night. Get some good sleep. I hope you have a great day at the pool tomorrow. Swimming. Thanks for checking in and for being here. I love you too, H-Ducks. I don't know if that was meant for me, I don't think so, but I'm gonna accept it. This isn't working. No, you don't. But I'll let you say that. Or else you wouldn't be here. Wait, on the font, if you can, with the keyboard up and field 3 hidden, put a finger on the middle of the screen. when I tap and drag in either the text prompt box or the not text prompt box. Neither of them will scroll. No scrolling. That is so funny. H-Ducks, I don't have any contact either. I don't have any information for you. Miriam, I have to get up early, I'll stay. Yeah, late nights, yeah, they can definitely get gnarly. Okay, let's see if this is working. Lovable's doing this. Yep. I just realized I haven't checked to see. No, we haven't had any here. Okay, Lovable, where is this? This one. 0.4. Oh, this should be correct now. Supposedly. Okay, so let's pull again. Let's go here. Git sync. Pull this out of the way. Period / build iOS H. And that should build for Xcode. Let's run this again. We're going to install this. Okay. Is this loading? Installing. Okay, so this should be installing right now. Okay, so let's go back to set a direction. Oh, wow, my posture is terrible. Ugh. And 3 things I'm grateful for. It still does it. This is so frustrating. So let's put this here. I just ran git sync and then built a fresh thing from Xcode, and it's still doing the same thing. I still can't see the bottom text box when I tap on it. The keyboard popped over it. Are we supposed to be making, is it supposed to be scrolling up into view, or what's the, can it just slide the whole screen up so it slides the whole screen up so that the next one's into view? Maybe it should be scrolling? I don't know. How do the most successful billion-plus user apps solve for things like this? HDuck's internet pornography is always waiting. It will always be here. I think that's what the cave paintings were. Those first cave paintings, I think those are probably just porn. Cavemen were talking about their cave woman friends or whatever to each other, and then they're describing this is what she looked like. Alright, landed correctly on all 5 containers. Honestly, I think I may need to, need to take a nap. I'm like, I need to take some aspirin and then a nap because I don't know how to fix this. And I'm really frustrated by it. Direct answer, they don't do what your app is doing. The universal pattern apps at that scale, WhatsApp, Instagram, Messenger, the content area physically shrinks to the space above the keyboard. I'm hearing Claude's telling me that we don't do the thing that the most successful apps do, and that's why we're having issues. We've already shipped the 2.1.7 release. So, yeah, let's write the spec to fix it properly. Fuck. I'm so tired of this shit. Claude is a copy of UH-Dux. I've almost been working for 30 years at this point. Not quite. All right. I think I need to turn my brain off for a little bit and take a nap. I appreciate you. Miriam's gone, okay. Christine, H-Dux, thanks for being here. I feel bad that I missed Miriam. I didn't realize she was saying goodbye. But that's, my brain's just gone, I guess. I hope you have a good night and a good day tomorrow. I appreciate you being here. Sure, don't we all need money? I could always use a little more. But right now, I need to sign off. I'm worn out and I can feel it. Thank you, Christine. I hope you have a good night. All right, we'll talk again soon.